Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3. We're going to cover verses 1 through 18. Now, right off the bat, God says to the people who are supposed to be his bride, you're a prostitute. He says, it'd be bad enough if you left me and married someone else. We could still work that out and I could bring you back. But you are even worse than that. You're a prostitute. And the reason he says this is because part of the false worship that Judah is engaging in is worshiping fertility goddesses. And so there literally is religious prostitution going on. And so he says over and over again, quit being a prostitute. I'd actually take you back, which is kind of amazing. And then he could get to chapter 6, and he says, during the reign of King Josiah, who was king down in Judah, during that time, Israel, northern kingdom, is conquered and collapses. And why? Because all of her idolatry destroyed her. Oh, she kept being warned over and over again, don't go down that path. And so he says, I divorced her and sent her away. And literally half of Israel was carted off into foreign lands, and it was over. And the prophet Jeremiah speaks on behalf of the Lord and says, you'd think you might take notice, but Judah has no fear of God. They have a fear of living, trusting the Lord. They have a fear of perhaps of the devil, but she has continually committed adulterous idolatry, going after other gods, and said, unfaithful Judah has returned, but only with half-hearted pretense. Now, why is he saying that? During the king of Josiah, there actually was revival of faith because the book of Deuteronomy was found and read to all the people. And you can read about this at the end of 2 Kings. And all the people, the king, he rent his clothes. They all were repenting for falling away. But they're back at it. This was at the beginning of Jeremiah's ministry, really a very formative time. But now by the time we get to Jehoiakim, they're back at it. And he says, faithless Israel is better than a faking, unfaithful Judah. That's, God is willing to forgive an unfaithful, adulterous bride. And that's what the church is. The church is the bride. And is the church faithful? Is the church going after false idols? This is a challenge for us. It was a challenge for Israel, for Judah, and it continues to be a challenge for God's people, whatever the age. And so he says, Israel, come back to me, return to me, acknowledge me that I'm the Lord, and acknowledge your sin, and I'll restore you. And I'm going to give you shepherds who will lead you in the word, right? But there will be no more ark or covenant. You won't remember it. You won't miss it. Because no longer will it be about trying to fulfill the law, as is the ark of the covenant. No longer will they follow their stubborn, even hearts, because the law just led them further into disobedience, but rather Jerusalem, he speaks about it as a throne, right? Where is the throne of Jesus Christ in Jerusalem? It's that cross on a hill, right? That's the gospel. And in that gospel of the cross, again, the law will be superseded by the gospel, and all of God's people, Judah, Israel, and all others will be brought together. Well, thank you, my friends. Have a blessed day.